A racial genocide employed by whites to exterminate blacks. Modern classic of race and medicine, updated with an additional chapter on the Tuskegee experiment's legacy in the age of AIDS. The name of this book is Bad Blood by James H. Jones, a book that really changed my life. This is all regarding the Tuskegee syphilis experiments. For educational and entertainment purposes only. Hey, this is the copyright information. I would highly recommend anyone read this book. It absolutely changed my view on everything, made me rethink my entire life and every experience I've ever had. Everything that I believe is right and good. All right, and so you can see copyright is 1981, and it was updated in 1993. So when it says new and expanded, it was talking about, back then, the human experimentation in medicine, the state of Alabama, the Tuskegee syphilis study, syphilis research, Alabama, Macon County history, and it talks about AIDS. 93, there was no treatment for that. It was a deadly disease.
Mr. Lauritsen is the author of Poison by Prescription.
Originally published in 1990.
We're not testing for the virus. We're testing for the antibody to the virus. That's and right. We know they don't have AIDS, the disease, Mr. Lauritsen, then go on and prescribe primarily AZT. What is the ultimate outcome?
Death. Some of the ways that they will get sick from the toxicities will include diseases that qualify as AIDS, but it will really have been caused by the treatments they received.
And in fact, syphilis was and still can be a deadly disease. All right, I want to go through the contents. Let's look at this. A moral astigmatism, because it's a sexually transmitted disease. It implies something about those who have it. And look at this, a notoriously syphilis-soaked race. You start to understand how the reason and the drive behind these so-called experiments was to create racial data. Data that looked on its face scientific, but in fact was created with systemic racism and manipulation of the actual world, such that genuine scientific study would find a link between a sexually transmitted disease and race. I read so far into this book and then it just broke me. It really broke me. But I think it is important for all of us to know. Preface to the new and expanded edition. In 1981, the year Bad Blood appeared, the press reported a mysterious disease, a novel virus, that affected gay men in New York, Los Angeles, and San Francisco. Acquired immune deficiency syndrome had struck America. Within a few years, scientists, by the way, that included Dr. Fauci, who appeared on television in this time frame. He was very instrumental because Dr. Fauci claimed that he was in the gay bathhouses monitoring how the disease spread, I bet.
Because I was working in the field, was perceived as the face of the federal government.
I read that you went to one or more of the gay bathhouses, I assume in your suit and tie.
Yeah, I took my suit and tie off. This was the very, very early years. It may even have been before we even discovered that HIV was the cause. And we were seeing mostly gay men. And it was so concentrated in the gay community. So I did. I went into the bathhouses to, essentially see what was going on. And, the epidemiologist in me went, this is a perfect setup for an explosion of a sexually transmitted disease.
I'll get to how this disease, which started off in the male homosexual population in this country, not that there was anything intrinsically different or wrong or what have you about homosexuality, it was very simple. It's straightforward epidemiology. You take an infectious agent and you introduce it into a population in which the spread among those individuals, if it's sexual contact spread, it's a perfect setup to spread. You take an infectious agent and you introduce it into a population. You take an infectious agent and you introduce it into a population.
For educational and entertainment purposes only. This is Lincoln McCurry. Please like and follow me. Thanks for watching.